about this last episode of Love After Lockup, first starting off with Bradley and Savannah. Okay, so in my last video, I was pointing out how annoying Savannah was being when Bradley first got out of prison. She was just rattling off one question after another, all in his face, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I could tell he was already starting to become aggravated, and I don't blame him. Like, I've been around people like that before, like people that just don't shut up to where you can't even like think straight or like have any kind of clear thoughts around them because they're constantly talking or asking you something. I feel like part of the reason why Savannah is like that is because she was overweight most of her life, so she probably felt like she had to overcompensate and be super funny to balance things out. And she can be really funny at times, but at times she can be too much. But to my surprise, once her and Bradley got in her car, Bradley was driving and she was being the passenger princess, and she actually calmed down a lot. She actually got pretty quiet. I think that's the quietest I've seen Savannah all season, and she was just sitting there on her phone. And Bradley kind of had an attitude once Savannah told him that she wanted him to go see her mother because her mother has been all looking forward to seeing Bradley after his release. And that just kind of tells me that Bradley doesn't care for Savannah as much as he's leading on, because I know it's never like something that's super fun the first time you meet someone's parents. It's always a little awkward and trying to figure out like what to say. But at the same time, if he really wants a future with Savannah, you would think that would be something that is important to him, to have a great relationship with her mother. So they go over and he's being a negative Nancy, talking about he doesn't want to see her mother. But once they pull up, the mother comes running out to him and embraces him, and you could tell she was just so happy and excited to see Bradley out. And I think that made him feel a lot better about the situation, because I think he thought he was going to get bitched out by her mom or be interrogated, and that was the last thing he was trying to deal with. I think that was important for Bradley to see from Savannah's mother and see, yeah, you may have effed up and went to prison, but I'm still here rooting for you and supporting you. And it seemed like she was willing to love Bradley just as if he was Bradley said he was tired. He wanted to is going somewhere and taking their girlfriend to Pound Town, but that was the last thing on Bradley's mind. He said in a confessional that he's starting to get a good look at Savannah now that he's out. And he's like, yeah, you know, she weighed 120 before I went to prison because she was on drugs. And now she's got that healthy weight. She's like 5'4", 150. And he was looking all disgusted. Like Savannah's just like this fat ass slob. Hell, and Savannah literally just got a tummy tuck 6 months ago. So that just tells me she was bigger before then. So I can't even imagine what he would be saying if he saw her before she got her tummy tuck. But I could not stand the way that Bradley was tearing her down. It's not like he was doing it to her face, but you know that's going to be really devastating for Savannah to see on the TV screen, especially with the fact he's saying, oh, not only is she kind of big, but she's so big that I don't even want to have sex with her right now. Like, that would do so much damage to someone's self-esteem. And Savannah has already admitted that she's already self-conscious because she knows that she's not the same body size. And here she's had weight issues all her life and been learning to love herself. And Bradley, out of all people, he doesn't have any room to talk because he's a little bit overweight himself. I mean, come on, dude. Have you seen your mugshot? And you've been in prison with nothing but time, and you could have got yourself in tip-top shape, and you haven't, and you're probably a good 20, 30 pounds overweight yourself. So I just think he does not have any room to talk about Savannah. And I can't believe, it's like one thing saying these things or thinking these things in private, but it's a whole nother thing to admit these things on national TV. Like, my heart really goes out to Savannah after seeing this episode, and goddamn, Bradley can be a freaking dick. Like, we already knew this, but I think the longer we see him and hear him talk, he just confirms that even more. He's just constantly tearing Savannah down. Like, remember when we first were introduced to him and he was constantly talking about, oh, your butt's not big enough, I want you to have a BBL, and here she is wanting to have surgery to fix herself. Hell, the reason she probably had a tummy tuck is because of things that he was saying. And here she is, and it's still not good enough for him. And he's talking about how he's such a butt guy and he loves big fat butts. But dude, if you want a girl with a nice sized rump, you're going to have to get a girl with some meat on her bones. Otherwise, the thighs are not going to match the hips. Like, I can't believe this man is pretty much saying on national TV that he preferred Savannah better off when she was drugged out and on meth. And that's the type of stuff that people say that'll make someone want to go run back to drugs just so they can lose that weight. And they'll think, oh, I'll just use drugs and lose the weight for a month. And the next thing you know, they can't stop and they're full-blown strung out again. But that is pretty much it, guys. That just pretty much tells me that Bradley does not love Savannah like he says he does. I almost think that he just kind of used Savannah to get by while he was in prison. And there's even, wasn't one of the sisters making those claims that Bradley was saying that he just used Savannah? I'm starting to think that that may be true. Because if you really love somebody, it don't matter if they put on 20, 30 pounds. You'd be willing to see past that. If there was that big of a deal with Bradley, I felt like that is something he should have been upfront and honest with Savannah about upfront. Like, hey, 120 pounds is my cutoff point, and anything past that, yeah, I probably won't be able to make it work. Because it's so much in his head that the dude's dick can't even get hard because he claims it's affecting him that much that he just wants to go to bed. But that is pretty much it, guys. I hope Savannah and Bradley step it up because they just haven't been giving us that much drama this season. I mean, I'm honestly shocked they chose to bring them back because I feel like they didn't really give us anything last season. I feel like their segments are mostly just filler segments. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.